What's going on, beautiful and exotic women of the world? Silence is golden. Silence is golden, you guys. Don't ever forget that rule of life. It took me quite a long time to realize that. I want to say into my college years, I realized that I needed to start closing my mouth because there were people who were using what I told them against me. There were people who I was oversharing to. And, people tried to sabotage and use the information you give them about yourself and about your life against you. It's so important to be quiet. Even with your closest friends, they don't need to know every minute detail about your life. I am a firm believer in keeping things between you and God. If you're not a believer, keeping it between you and yourself. You, yourself, and I. Because no one needs to really know what you have planned, where you're trying to go, what you're trying to achieve for multiple reasons. Some people don't need to know because they are only going to project their insecurities and their shortcomings and their limited beliefs onto you. So if you have plans to do something big with your life or to get out of a situation, you never want to tell that family member who has been living in struggle and in survival mode that you plan on making a 6, 7, 8-figure business. You know what I'm saying? Because they're only going to be able to give you advice and give you their point of view from the life that they're living and from the perspective of their lack. They can't pour into your aspirations or give you good advice because they literally cannot fathom being in that position. So you never want to share your dreams and aspirations with people who literally cannot relate. Some people don't have the capacity to think on that broad of a spectrum, and that's okay too. But that's even more of a reason for you to just hold that in for yourself and let the fruits of your labor and let the results speak for themselves. Some people literally can't believe you or can't get on the bandwagon with what you are trying to achieve until they see results, until they see things tangibly show up in your life that prove that you are successful because of the thing that you have chased after. Some people also don't need to know your plans or don't need to know what's going on with you because some people have really nasty spirits and they want to sabotage your plans because they're uncomfortable with where they're at in life. Think about it. If you were content with life, if you're happy, if you're living your best life, let's say you're not even, at the place you want to be at in life and someone comes and tells you their plans. If you're on your own journey and you're running your own race and you understand that everything is within divine timing, you are not going to be looking at that person and coveting what they have or just being jealous to the point where you're like, in your head, you're wishing they fail and you're praying on their downfall. No. Because you're too busy focused on bettering yourself. But unfortunately, there are so many people out here who are bored and idle, and they have all the time in the world on their hands, and instead of using the same 24 hours you were given, they are choosing to throw evil eye at you and a bunch of other people who they're intimidated by. And that gets them nowhere. But people like that, again, you don't want to tell them your plans because then they can go to their little witch doctors and spiritual practitioners or do some little craft of their own. You never know, okay? And try to sabotage your plans, try to ruin your plans, try to get you to be a failure. So you never want to give your enemy a leg up by giving them a chance to ruin what is in the ideation phase of your life. You never want to give them a chance to shit on what you're currently forming and what is still in a seed phase. So it's still in the foundation phase. It's still at the lowest base level of creation. That is when it is most vulnerable. So you never want to give someone the opportunity to come in and try to uproot something that you are just now planting and putting down. You also don't need to tell anyone what you have planned because some things you really have to just pop out and show niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to just sometimes just pop out and show people. And that's because when you can keep things for yourself and you just sit on it and you work on it and work on it and work on it, It's nurtured and it's covered and it's sacred to the point where when it does blossom and you do tell people, no outside force can really mess with it for real because it's already past the ideation phase. It's past the foundational phase. It passed the first few levels where you're tripping and stumbling and you're learning and you're falling and getting back up, and you've established it to the point where no one can really mess with it like that because you have mastered it. You have mastered it and you have come to a point where you are so confident in it in whatever you're doing. This could be with investing stocks. This could be with a business. This could be with a practice that you have. Maybe you're a therapist, maybe you're a clinician. Maybe you do hair, you do lashes, you're an esthetician, whatever it is. You have gotten to a point where you are so masterful in that area that the outside attacks are just going to ricochet off of you because it literally cannot penetrate. And that's why it's so important to just stay silent. When you're silent about your plans, when you're silent about what you have going on until it has actually come into fruition fully, and even then, you don't have to speak on it. But when it has come into fruition fully, that is when you are sort of untouchable because it's like no one can put their mouth on it in a negative way. No one can be like, oh, well, I don't think you should do that. There's a lot of risk in that. Yeah, life is about risk. If you're not taking risks in life, what are you doing? Going to college and taking out student loans was a risk financially. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to people and what they have to say, but people will say stuff like that, to deter you. Some people will try to go and do what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want anyone stealing your opportunities, whether it's energetically or physically. So you have to just close your mouth, be silent, work on that thing, whatever it is, master it, study it daily, make it a part of your routine. Make it become something that is a part of you. And before you know it, you are going to be succeeding and thriving in that area. And then when you do decide to tell people about it, all they can do is congratulate you. Now all they can do is applaud you. If they're not a hater, you know what I'm saying? Now all they can do is just be like, wow, good job. That's amazing. Can you teach me? So just be aware that that's what happens when you close your mouth and just allow your passion, your dream, whatever you're focused on right now to come into full fruition. I am a firm believer in this in the day and age that I'm in because I've experienced the full spectrum of what can happen when you speak on something too soon. You get the people who are skeptical and they are doubting and, they're projecting from a place of lack within their own lives. And kind of deters you because now you're scared to do it. Now you feel like you don't have the capacity to do it. Now you feel like there's too much risk in it. But before you told these people, you were amped up, you were excited, you had a clear head about it. Now your brain is clouded with everyone's opinions. I'm not giving anyone the power over me to do that. At the age that I'm at, I don't have time to take on other people's projections and let that stunt my growth. I don't know about y'all, but that's where I'm at in my life right now. I'm unapologetic about my business. I'm unapologetic about my growth. I'm unapologetic about this financial freedom I'm getting to. And I know a lot of you can relate. So that's one of the things. And then, I also have learned too that you keep friends around you or family around you that, you check in with constantly and you're telling them your business. And it's like they are low-key hating on you. Even your best friend, even your family that you think should be loving and supporting you. They could be uncomfortable by your dreams because maybe it's outside of the scope of what they're capable of. Maybe they never expected that to be something that you would go after or pursue or attain. And that makes them uncomfortable because, you're this person who they've been knowing for a long time or for their whole life. And the idea of you achieving something big like that or making that much money or having this many clients or making this big of an impact is uncomfortable for them because some people have a box that they put you in. And so when you are silent about what you have going on, what you plan to do, no one can do anything to you. It's so empowering because you're untouchable. Your superpower is literally your silence, ladies. If you have something that you're trying to accomplish and achieve, and you honestly and truly believe in yourself without a shadow of a doubt, that is to be protected. That is sacred. Your plans and your vision is sacred. So do not speak to anyone about it until it has come into fruition fully, and until you have mastered it. No one needs to know. Treat it like a lottery ticket. No one needs to know. Not a soul. All they need to know is that you have a home, you eat, you live a decent life right now. No one needs to know that you've been investing and your stocks have been going up and you got $50,000 because you've been killing it in the stock market. Or no one needs to know that that business that you created has multiplied. No one needs to know that you're killing it right now with hair and with lashes or with makeup, and you have all these clients and you're about to work for a TV company or a production company or whatever big opportunity that you're sitting on. Sit on it and be quiet. And I promise you, when the thing comes to pass and that's when you can speak on it, people will have to just give you your kudos. They'll have to just give you your kudos and be like, dang, she didn't even broadcast that she was working on this, so I couldn't throw my bad juju on it. Or they'll just be like, dang, that's amazing. She was working on this whole time and she didn't tell me. Wow, that's so cool. Congrats. So, ladies, drop down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. I'll also be leaving my email in the description box as usual, so you can share your stories with me there as well. Have a lovely day, ladies.